Welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, where we take a look at what's happening in Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties on the pages of your local newspaper. I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of the Lawrence County Advocate, Main Street Maury, and the Pulaski Citizen. As we start the show this week, I'd like to remind all of our readers that you can pick up a copy of your local paper in markets across the county. And if you'd prefer to get your paper delivered to you at your home each week, you can get a subscription, and you can do that by going to mainstreetmediatn.com or your local paper's website as well. All of those will get you to a subscription. In addition to our weekly wraps this week, we've got a couple of features, including Governor Bill Lee being in Lawrenceburg last week. We'll have some feature on that coming up here in a few minutes. Another feature this week is from Jonah Story. He went up to Spring Hill for the Founders Day baseball action. It's pretty interesting stuff right there. You need to hang around and check that feature out from Jonah. As always, we take a look at the week in your community through the weekly wraps of each local newspaper. So let's get that started right now with the Pulaski Citizen Wrap. Every week at the Pulaski Citizen, we spotlight a very deserving Giles County in our Citizen Spotlight. And this week is no different, as Richland School Spanish teacher Noemi Santana Donato takes the honor right there at the top and center of the front page this week. Find out more about her in an article in this week's edition. Also on the front page, a Giles County Commission subcommittee has approved moving forward with pursuing designs to construct a new Giles County E911 Communications Center, along with a new ambulance service headquarters down at the Agri Park. Now, Connie Rowe is going to give us all the details, and it's going to be right there on the front page. Paulette Bass Bledsoe shares with us on the front page about the Giles County Art Showcase that's coming up at Giles County High School May 13. It promises to be captivating with art and music that focuses on all five senses. Finally, on the front page, Giles County Sheriff's Deputy Eric Smith has been named the Exchange Club Law Enforcement Officer of the Year. Find out about Eric and the Exchange Club honor there on page A1 of this week's Citizen. STRHS Pulaski CEO Jason Fugelberg acknowledges National Nurses Week, May 6th through 12th, National Hospital Week, May 12th through 18th, and National EMS Week, May 19th through the 25th. It's all in an article celebrating all of these inside this week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen. In Lifestyles, Margaret Campbell tells us all there is to know about hummingbirds as their season gets underway. And Trey Donovan goes on a barbecue odyssey across southern Middle Tennessee, and he's written a detailed review of the best places to go get your barbecue craving satisfied. Every week in the Pulaski Citizen, you'll find obituaries, backward glances, property transfers, court docket, community breeze, comics, and puzzles. There's all that and so much more in the Pulaski Citizen every week. Pick a copy up at local stores. You can stop in here at our office and get a copy up on the square. You can also sign up for a subscription while you're here. Hey, there's all that stuff that I told you and so much more, including sports. Let's go see what Wade's got for us this week.
Hey guys, Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen. Another jam-packed sports section here for you guys in this week's edition. Top to bottom coverage of all of the end of the regular season and the opening bits of district tournament play. Our feature story was on Giles County's boys soccer team, which advanced to the District 8AA semifinals with a hard-fought victory, 1-0 versus their rival Lawrence County. It was a rematch of a tightly contested ball game played just a couple of weeks ago in the regular season, and we have complete coverage of that matchup as GCHS again did advance with a 1-0 victory. Speaking of games where the opposition did not score, Richland dominating in its District 10A baseball tournament, including an opening game no-hitter for senior Bryce Miller, 5-inning no-hitter as Richland walloped Santa Fe last week 12-0, and Bryce Miller was the main man on the mound for the Raiders. Richland would go on to win their district tournament. They were able to squeeze all of the games in over the weekend, and in an attempt to beat Mother Nature, Richland goes ahead and wins the District 10A title. Flipping pages, Giles County bouncing back. The Bobcats in the baseball tournament in 8 AAA. They dropped their opener to Lawrence County, but then magically rallied with victories versus both Marshall County and Franklin County. And at the time of this going to print, we did not have results, but last night Giles County was eliminated, suffering a second defeat to Lawrence County. So Lawrence County gets Giles County twice in the tournament, but GCHS really made a strong showing. They finished 1 game shy of the district championship game, and they also finished 1 game shy of advancing to region. We have photos and cut lines from your Richland boys soccer team, which ended its regular season with a loss to Lawrence County and a draw to Community. But remember, the Raiders were really dominant in their District 10A regular season schedule, and they began their district tournament this week as well. Other odds and ends, including a shout out to several former local standouts who earned SSAC softball awards as members of the UT Southern program, including former Giles County Lady Bobcat Allie Toon. We also had the young ladies from Loretto and Summertown featured in this release as some area products earning all conference awards for UT Southern. You can read about that. And then also we have a miniature preview to close things out of all of our softball tournaments for Giles County and Richland as those cranked up this week. You can read all about those and get you prepped for district tournament play, which will be done later this week, and it's right on into region for a lot of our area teams. That will be the focus of next week's edition. And as always, stay tuned for any of this if you somehow missed it in print, online at PulaskiCitizen.com. That's this week's sports section, and I'm Wade Neely saying so long. We'll see you next time.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Having a good, confident smile and being able to portray that positivity to others is really helpful.
A professional family atmosphere is what we get every time we come here.
Our hygienists do a better job at kind of assessing mouths and coming up with plans than most dentists do.
They're very kind and they're very aware of other people.
I think if there's things that I would want you to leave here with, I want you to feel like you were heard, that we listened to you, and I want you to feel like that your concerns were addressed.
Whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, when it comes to your performance, don't settle for anything less than excellence. We're proud to announce that Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic is now Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance of Columbia, where we are redefining sports medicine and orthopedics. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance's team of expert sports medicine physicians understands the unique demands of your body. TOA Columbia specializes in personalized orthopedic care, offering state-of-the-art treatments for everything from sports injuries to joint replacements. Learn more at toacolumbia.com.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Main Street Maury is jam-packed this week. A lot of news. Olivia Adams brings you the front page story of Spring Hill High School being allegedly vandalized by the senior class, including a food bank outreach reportedly being destroyed. Mount Pleasant and Santa Fe have been honored for registering students to vote. Each received the Ann Dallas Dudley Gold Level Award last week. Olivia tells us all about that one again on page A1. The Mule House Music Venue is scheduled for foreclosure auction Friday over at 812 South High Street. Our editor, Chris Gregory, has a story on the front page this week. Also on the front, Chris also brings us the story about Randolph Howe Elementary STEM School undergoing a shakeup in the leadership after the sudden departure of its principal and assistant principal. The Maury County Commission and Maury County Board held a study session last Wednesday to discuss building a joint facility for both offices. 3 locations were discussed. They are the former McDowell Elementary site, the square in downtown Columbia, or a 30-acre plot off of Tom J. Hitch Parkway here in Columbia. The Mount Pleasant City Commission offered a contract to current Fire Chief Philip Grooms to be the next city manager. The Columbia City Council is scheduled to consider its 2024-25 budget and property taxes when it meets Thursday. There's a meeting preview on that in the Main Street Maury this week. And don't ever forget, that's right, you know where I'm going, right? Main Street Maury is the only place you're going to find the deals at the Pig. It's the only place you're going to get it. That's right, I'm talking about Piggly Wiggly down at Neely Mills Shop. And this month, guess what they got? Last week, we know what it was. It was the May meat sale. It's back, baby. The May meat sale is back at Piggly Wiggly. This week, the deals are all in the Main Street Maury. Go pick one up, get you one on the way down to Piggly Wiggly, and go in there and check out all the deals, the great service at Piggly Wiggly here in Columbia. And now it's time to turn it over to Mo for this week's Sports Wrap.
Thanks. I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. This week's Main Street Maury print edition includes coverage of a new girls basketball coach in Maury County as Spring Hill named Kyle Shipley to the Lady Raiders head coaching position. There was also a second coach named last week as Corey Bishop was named to replace John Wild over at Santa Fe. However, more recently, Bishop has withdrawn from that position. We've got coverage of the latest in the Santa Fe girls basketball coaching situation in this week's print edition of Main Street Maury, as well as high school spring sports coverage. Columbia and Spring Hill played a big ball game last Thursday night. We've got coverage of the results of that as they were in District 9 4A competition. Also, Santa Fe and Hampshire had a big game in District 10 1A tournament play. So we've got coverage of both of those games and how those went. In addition, Zion Christian softball team is in pursuit of a third consecutive TISAA state championship. We've got an update on them. And there is junior college baseball and softball tournament play taking place this week out at Columbia State. You can check out all the action on Eddie Campbell Field and on Dave Hall Field. We've got coverage of that in this week's print edition. Be sure and check out the website, mainstreetmaury.com, as we continue to keep up with our area high school teams in spring sports postseason play as well. Thanks.
So we have most of the teams in the Tennessee Vintage Baseball League. Most of them are in Nashville, and they're in Franklin, actual Nashville itself, Spring Hill, Murfreesboro. But then we have a few teams outside of the Nashville area. We have 2 teams in Chattanooga and 2 teams in Knoxville. So we'll do a little bit of traveling, and then we'll play some rec league games. I mean, the farthest we've ever traveled to play is Colorado. Exhibition games, just having a lot of fun. So it's a good structure, a good amount of teams to be able to play a lot of different people, but also tight enough to where we know, we basically know everybody on the other teams. So obviously there are, structural differences. We don't run through first. We don't have gloves. You can catch off of one bounce, different things like that. But really what sets it apart from other types of ball being played today is just the level of focus on fun. We want to win. Obviously, we play to win. But really, it's just focused on having a great time and being good sports people to each other. You'll see some people, if they hit well, the other team will cheer for them. Well struck, great hit. That sort of thing, or wow, you're really quick. So I think that's what sets it apart. Of just we're here to have a lot of fun. Visit our website, send an email, talk to one of the players. We'll welcome anybody who wants to play. Even if you want to join midseason, talk to one of us, and if we have room on a roster somewhere, we'll put you on a roster.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
They have always met wildest expectations as far as taking care of my teeth and my health. You know, teeth health is very important now to your heart. And I told him one day, I said, I'd love to have nice teeth and nice hair. And he said, well, I can take care of the teeth, but I can't take care of the hair. And I said, you can make my teeth? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go for it. And he did. And I have been tremendously pleased. Dr. Hart, if you need him at night, he's here. This staff here will take care of you 24/7. You don't have to worry about, I can't get a hold of my dentist, my tooth's hurting. No. They will be here for you. And if I could get Dr. Hart to take that same artistry that he has and grow hair, then he would be double rich.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Nashville Super Speedway.
That's right, guitars and fast cars right here in Music City. This summer, NASCAR is back at the Nashville Super Speedway. Get your tickets now to watch your favorite driver take on the 1.33 miles of concrete chaos. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to lock in your spot June 28th through the 30th for the Ally 400 race weekend.
In the Lawrence County Advocate wrap this week, Lawrence County had a special guest last week in Governor Bill Lee. He came to Lawrenceburg Square for Small Business Week, and we've got Jonah Story's article on the front page of this week's edition of the Lawrence County Advocate. And don't forget our feature video coming up in just a few minutes here on the show. A group of Lawrence County first responders were honored with a Star Life Award for saving a man from a grain bin last November. You remember that story on the front page of the Lawrence County Advocate? It was an amazing story. Recipients were acknowledged from multiple local agencies. See Sandy Mashburn's story right there on page A1 of the Lawrence County Advocate. Also on the front page, the Lawrence County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition, in collaboration with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department, school system resource officers, held its first Tennessee Camp Thrive Cops and Bobbers fishing event on April 20th. LSAP's Trey Donovan, same Trey Donovan that wrote the barbecue story for the Pulaski Citizen. He is the director at LSAP, and he brings us the story about cops and bobbers. So don't miss that on the front page of this week's Lawrence County Advocate. Inside Crockett's Mill Restaurant down at David Crockett Park, we'll be having Mother's Day meals. Find out where to take mom to eat on Mother's Day this Sunday inside the Advocate this week. Loretta Lift Up has announced a self-guided home tours on May the 19th. Local leaders and members of the community came together Thursday to participate in National Day of Prayer there at the Lawrence County Courthouse. TCAT Hohenwald recently competed in the Skills USA in Chattanooga, with students bringing several medals home. And finally, the Lawrence County Historical Society's March meeting highlighted the railroad history of Lawrence County. All that inside the Lawrence County this week. In sports also, Loretta won 3 straight games last week, including a couple of wins over rival Summertown, to claim the District 10 2A tournament baseball title. The Mustangs 22-6 and the Eagles 18-7 both earned berths in the Region 5 2A baseball tournament, and they're going to be taking on the top 2 teams from District 9 2A. The Region 5 2A tournament will be played at Loretto and is scheduled to start Friday. The Lawrence County Baseball Wildcats just wrapped up second place in their district last night. In the paper this week, we've got recaps from 2 of their games, And the Wildcats will also enter their region tournament play on Friday. I also tried to do my best to break down where everybody stood with their district tournaments coming into the week. It's about like herding cats trying to figure all that out. But Summertown and Loretto softball both won their first round games Monday, and they were scheduled to face off Tuesday. Lawrence County softball dropped into the losers bracket Monday, and they were also set to play Tuesday. Go to the Lawrence County Advocate Facebook page and lawrencecountyadvocate.net for updates on all of what's going on with all those sports action. We'll be right back after this.
Well, it's Small Business Week here in Tennessee, highlighting and underscoring the importance of small businesses in towns all over our state. Half of the people that work in Tennessee in private business work for companies that have 100 or fewer employees. So it is the backbone of our economy, small business. We've worked really hard to create a business environment, but at the end of the day, where it really happens is in towns like Lawrenceburg and in squares like this and in businesses like this. So we stopped in 5 or 6 of these businesses and asked them what the environment's like here, and it's a great reminder that small business drives the economy, and small towns are part of what makes Tennessee unique. We talked a lot about this community, why it's special. The people are very excited about what's happening in this town. But the truth is, in 90 of our 95 counties, we have population growth. We are a high-growth state. We're an unusual state in that we have our economic activities kind of spread all across the state. That's a good thing. It means that more Tennesseans and more towns have an opportunity to improve their lives through better work. But we also just found leaders that were engaged here. Workforce development, understanding how important that is, education. Those things are happening in this town, and it's exciting to see. People are coming here from all over the country. Tennessee. People are moving to Tennessee from all over the country. New York, California, Michigan. Folks from every part of this country have looked around the country and decided where they want to land. I talked to one business owner here from New York who decided that Lawrenceburg, Tennessee is where she wanted to live after having lived in New York and in Florida. This is the place she wants to live and place her business. I think it speaks to the uniqueness of this town and the uniqueness of the community here that's so attractive. It also speaks to why Tennessee is the best country in the best state in the country, and why people are coming in from all over this country. I think we have a commitment in our communities all the way up to the state to create an environment where people can thrive. We can't guarantee outcomes, but we can guarantee a commitment to an environment that lets people access a better way of life for themselves. And at the end of the day, that's happening in our state. And people are drawn to that. They see us as a place where there's opportunity, where there is security, where there's freedom. And those are an attractive triangle that people want to have access to.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather today.
Happy Wednesday. Ben Luna here with you in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, tracking a round of severe weather that's going to roll our way as we head toward tonight through early Thursday. So there's a lot to talk about in this weather update. We'll break down that threat for you as we move into this evening, how that's going to shape tomorrow. And plus, Mother's Day weekend, we're on the downhill slide to it. How are things changing for that as well? We'll cover all of that and more right here in this Wednesday edition of Your Weather Today, made possible by Beasley Wealth Management on the downtown Lawrenceburg Square. Here's a look at how things shaped up over the past 24 hours, and that approaching cold front's going to continue to influence our weather as we head through the course of today, and ultimately bringing in that chance for strong to severe storms as we look ahead to this evening. Now, keep in mind, this severe weather threat begins tonight and continues into early Thursday. Now, we can't rule out a tornado spin-up or two in a line of storms that's going to find its way across the mid-state of North Alabama during that time frame. So that is in the possible category for us. We think that our biggest threats from this round of severe weather will be the high wind potential and flooding potential across the area. Can't rule out some hail, but definitely the elevated threats is something you want to pay close attention to. Damaging wind gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour will be possible. And on average, I think we're looking at maybe about 2 to possibly 3 inches of rain accumulation in a very short amount of time. And so that's going to really amplify that potential for flooding across our area, especially in those locations that are prone to flood very easily. Now, here's Futurecast. As we head through the course of today, not much to speak about. We're going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine. It'll actually be quite warm. It's also going to be very humid today. Temperatures by 2 o'clock approaching the low 90s in a few spots across North Alabama, the mid 80s in place everywhere else across our viewing area. Short of maybe Columbia, they're edging closer into the upper 80s for you during the afternoon hours of today. Winds also breezy from the south between 15 and possibly 20 miles per hour. Now, as we get closer into this evening, I think for our northern tier counties, this is where it's going to start at between, say, 11 and midnight. You're going to see this band of shower and storm activity work from the north to the south across the Tennessee Valley region, producing those strong winds and the potential for some tornadic activity. I think that's kind of on the lower end of the spectrum, but nevertheless, it is something that we'll watch very carefully. Now, models are also picking up on another round of storm activity here that's going to cross tomorrow morning, say between 5 and 7 a.m. A couple of things to note. One, notice temperatures are rain cooled by this point well into the 60s, and so I think this looks a little bit meaner than what it will be, but possibly will pick up a little bit more rain as you head toward the sunrise time frame of Thursday morning. And again, we'll be watching that closely. We'll be fully staffed here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center to keep you informed if things do want to get to be more on the rocky side and we start to get warnings across the area. Now, just to give you an overall idea as to how this looks, the tornado threat, the higher potential is off to the north. As this system sinks further south, it's going to still maintain a little bit of a punch, but I think it gets weaker as it continues to work into our viewing area. So that's something that's definitely working in our favor. But again, time will tell as we get closer into when this thing is going to start to roll in here late tonight and into early Thursday. That's why we'll be on standby to keep you updated, short of how this thing is going to play out. Now, as we get past this event, here comes the cold front that finally cools us off. Can't rule out a few little leftover showers Thursday evening and maybe 1 or 2 little pockets of moisture in some parts of the area, mainly south on Friday. For the most part, I think we're going to go with a mostly cloudy forecast Friday afternoon. And then one more little clipper system is going to drive across the area on Mother's Day. And therefore, I think we could see maybe 1 or 2 little passing showers, if not a thunder shower Sunday afternoon. So here's your breakdown for today. Temperatures soaring way high into the mid 80s for many of you. That storm threat will really start to amplify as we head toward tonight. And then for the next 7 days, a lot to talk about. Again, showers and storms likely as we head overnight into tomorrow. I think we're going to calm down. Friday should be decent. Saturday's looking fantastic at this point, partly cloudy and 73. Here comes that other little clipper system on Sunday, so we can't rule out maybe 1 or 2 scattered showers, maybe a stray storm there. And then Monday, Tuesday, and on into Wednesday, we'll start to see our next storm system arrive here toward the end of that 7-day period. That is a check on your forecast from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with us. We'll bring you weather updates as needed all day and all night right here on Tennessee Valley Weather.
This morning's on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee for another week. Thank you for trusting the Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, and Main Street Maury as your source for local news and information. Our papers are available in markets across Giles County, Lawrence County, and Maury County. You can also have your local newspaper sent to your home each week through a subscription. And for more information on that, visit PulaskiCitizen.com, MainStreetMurray.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, or our parent website, MainStreetMediaTN.com. It's a pleasure for us to serve as your trusted news source. Nobody tells the story of your community the way that your local newspaper does. And your local newspapers are Lawrence County Advocate, Main Street Maury, and Pulaski Citizen. And again, we say thank you. And I say The good Lord willing, we'll be back next week. Thanks.